everybody, welcome back to Rink's Garage, where by the end of this video we hope to be blowing some snow. Got some parts showed up today. This we picked up in town, just a standard turnbuckle. This is what we're going to be using to adjust the pitch. So I'll have to put a mount on here where this pin will go through, and they didn't have one with a pin on each side, of course. So we're gonna have to, I don't know, weld a couple washers on this end, something. But that'll mount right there, and then you can turn the center and adjust it in and out. Got our sprockets for the gearbox. So we'll get that mounted. We'll have to get a mount here somewhere for the gearbox, line it up with the auger sprocket and this one, chain them up together, and then we should have a spinning auger. I did search around. I found a big old hunk of channel. Probably hack a piece of that off and mount our gearbox with that. Also picked up a couple little gear motors, 12 volt. These are like motors out of a seat in a car, 15 bucks. So hoping to use one of these to turn the spout, and the other one maybe to turn the flipper on top of the spout. And then we got this guy. That one basically doubled the price, or the amount of money I got into this thing. That was 250 bucks. That is a 500-pound, 6-inch stroke electric cylinder. So this is what we're going to use. Over here. We'll put our little arm coming off here, however long we need, so that it gets 6 inches of travel to fully raise it and fully lower it. And then we'll mount this guy in here, and she'll raise and lower the blower. So, little extra money, but I think it's gonna do the job real nice. So, but we got our list here again: auger drive, turnbuckle, lift cylinder, chute turner, seat. I think for a seat we'll probably just, I don't know, strap a 5-gallon bucket on it or something for now, so we can get to blowing some snow. And then last, cabin controls. So other than that, we got the parts to get what we need to get done to blow some snow, I think. Oh, the chute. So I got to come up with some pipe. So this is 6-inch square. Here we need to get into a round pipe so we can make our chute turner. Basically we need a circle and then another bigger circle that'll fit over the top of it to spin, and then we'll just put probably put a sprocket on one of them motors and a big sprocket around the outside of that to hook it up so you can spin that spout back and forth. So I will have to come up with some pipe. If not, I got some extra scrap flat steel here. We can do kind of like we did with the fan and roll it into a circle if we need to, but I'm going to be on the lookout for just some pipe that I could just cut a chunk off. That would be a lot easier. But to start with, we're going to work on getting the gearbox mounted. So basically I'm going to have to transfer that flange holes and cut the center out over to that channel iron and weld it onto there. So I'll get some marks made and cut a piece out. Alright, so I got my piece cut out. Found a smaller piece of channel that's gonna work, a little piece of 4-inch channel. Cut the center out with the plasma cutter and drilled a couple holes in it. So this guy should fit right in there. Bolt her up. Then I went ahead and measured in from my sprocket to the outside of here. Transferred it over onto this side with a square. So that's where the center of my sprocket needs to go. So what I'll do is I'll bolt her together and line that sprocket up with that line. Try and get her eyeballed as square as possible. And weld her on. And then we'll be ready to cut the hole in here. So this will sit something like that. We'll take the square and get an idea kind of where the chain's going to come through. Slot this out where the chain runs through, and then we'll be ready to chain her up and maybe fire it up, see what the auger speed looks like. Should be about 200 RPMs, so I'll get that welded on and we'll take a look at her. Alright, so we got the gearbox all mounted. Got some chains on her. Got my hole cut in the back. Where the chain goes through. We are going to need a tightener on this guy. I'll have to pick up an idler pulley. The other ones are pretty good for now. They'll get a little slack on them as we use it. Fire her up, see what happens. Makes a little noise because that chain is jumping a little bit, but we'll get a idler pulley on that and that'll fix that. I think it's gonna work. We'll see once we get everything tightened down and get her up to RPM. She might fly apart, but next thing on the agenda, we'll get this turnbuckle welded in here. What I'll do is I'll just get a nut and weld in here, take up some of that slack. We'll just drill a hole in the frame, and then I'll put a little reinforced bracket off of here with a hole in it for this top pin. So she'll mount just like that, get a good angle on it. So it's got some power to hold the blower straight. And after we get that done, onto the chute. So we'll get after it. Hey guys, went in town, picked up some parts, and picked up an idler. Made up a couple brackets, took a channel, cut a slot in it for our idler. So that'll get welded on just like that, and then we got a slot for adjustment to tighten her up. When you guys are putting an idler on a chain like this, you always want to put the idler on the slack side. So this sprocket is turning this way, basically pulling this bottom chain up to turn this one, so the slack is always going to be in the top side. So you want to put it up there, otherwise it'll always try to push your idler the other way. So we'll get him welded on there. That'll finish up the auger drive. And then drill the hole down here in the bracket, I did end up finding a nut with a flange on it that I was able to pound right into that eyelet. So we can put the bolt in through the back side, and that should hold that down there. And then up here, we'll weld this angle iron on, and I can tie into the chute and the blower housing. So that'll strengthen that up and give it a nice push. Most of the time it shouldn't be too bad, but if you run it into a rock or something like that, it might try and tip the blower. So we'll go ahead and get them two pieces welded on. I'll cut the tacks on this guy and get him out of the way. Tack them two pieces on, put our turnbuckle in, tighten that chain down, and then I think we'll be ready to install the lift cylinder. So we'll get them welded on. Alright, we got the turnbuckle on, threw a jam nut on here so you can lock it, so we should just be able to turn this, adjust the pitch of the blower if she's digging in too much or if we want to cut some more. Got the idler welded on, so that should get rid of our chain jumping around. So now we need to mount the lift cylinder. So we'll have to come up with a bracket here, come up, maybe a piece of angle iron I'm thinking, off the frame to catch the one bolt, and then this one we'll put a little arm up with the hole in it, and I'll have to figure out how long it's got to be. That cylinder's got 6 inches of travel, so we'll mount it. Right now I got it all the way down. That'll be the end point here, and then we'll have to figure out how far 6 inches to travel to get this to lift all the way up, which I'm thinking it's going to be somewhere around a 3-inch piece. I got this piece off the mower. This guy here's already got a hole in it. It's got a 1-inch shaft through. So I'm thinking I'll just cut him off of there, get rid of some of this extra, and we can weld this right onto that shaft. And then if need be, I can pop a couple more holes in here to get the proper alignment we need. So I'll get that cut off and we'll get her mocked up on there, see what happens. Alright, we got the lift cylinder mounted. So I got that arm welded on, just got a bolt in there, and then you can see back there, but I welded a 4-inch channel back here to the frame, and that comes up with a bolt in it here. It's going to get pretty close here when it raises, because that's going to go back a little bit, but I think it'll be fine. So hook her up to the battery and we'll see what happens. I think it's gonna work. We got about 4 inches of lift. Goes pretty slow, but when you're backing up, you probably only put it up an inch or two. So I'll run her back down on the ground. Well, there you go. That cylinder does have limit switches on the top and bottom, so hit her until she stops moving both ways and it should be good. Doesn't look like it hits anything either way, so I think she's gonna work. We're getting down there. So got the lift mechanism done, we got the idler on, we got the turnbuckle. We need a chute. And it's Wednesday today. Supposedly we got 8 inches of snow maybe coming Thursday night, Friday, so it's getting pretty late tonight, so I'm probably gonna call her a night tonight, and tomorrow after work we'll come out here and see if we can get a chute on it. Probably won't get the chute spinner on it, but we're definitely gonna try and blow some snow at the end of this video. So get the shop cleaned up here, so we got stuff laying all over, and we'll be back tomorrow, work on the chute. Hey everybody, back in the shop again next night. Did a couple things already. Threw a couple pieces of slanted angle iron underneath each side just for a skid shoe, keep it from digging in, and that'll help when we adjust this turnbuckle. If it digs in too much, we can tilt this back and then it'll ride on that shoe a little more. Narrowed up the top of my spout just a little bit so we don't get such a huge circle around here. And then I got some steel over here. Plan is I'm going to cut out a 9-inch circle and then probably an 8-inch circle or a little under. So the 9-inch circle will get welded right to the top of the spout, and then we'll cut the square out inside it. So that'll be our flange. So that'll sit flat on here, be open in the middle, and then the other circle, which is a little bit smaller diameter, and then we'll cut the center out at 7-inch circle. So our spout will be 7-inch circle going up, which I'll have to roll that on the roller out of a strip of metal. But then the plan is, so that'll be sitting flat, the other one will sit flat on top of it, and then we can put 3 or 4 hold downs around the outside so that thing can swivel but it doesn't fall off. So fire up the plasma cutter here and get these 2 circles cut out and a strip out of that steel over there for the spout, and then we can get to welding. Well, I got some pieces cut out. We got the bottom piece here. This piece will be the part that the spout is welded to. I forgot my dad did bring some 6-inch pipe over, so I'll use that. So let's take this stuff over here. So basically, this will get welded on just like that, and our spout will get built off of this piece. So this will get welded into this ring, and then we can drill some holes around this with a clip so that this can spin underneath it, and then we'll hook our turning mechanism on there, and then from here we'll build a chute with some flat metal, which we'll get all this welded up, and then I'll figure out what we need. So we'll need a piece going up the back and then 2 sides for the chute. So get this stuff welded on, and then we'll start on the top of the chute. So I went ahead and cut out some pieces for the chute. Basically we got 6-inch by 24-inch piece for the back. So that'll be the piece coming up like that. Then I just cut out a couple 6-inch wide on the bottom, 3 on the top for each side. So basically we'll just set these up, tack it on the corners, then we'll set it up on there and get everything tacked up. See how it's going to look. Probably have to trim out in the corners and wrap that back in so she doesn't leak snow out of there, but we'll get her tacked up and see what she looks like. Well, we got the chute all welded up. If you'll notice, I kind of just guessed at the angle. Hopefully it works. I think it should be good. Next on the agenda is going to be tightening up these corners, which will basically just cut a pie out of there, put one flat piece in so we can run it all the way around so she doesn't leak snow. Then of course we'll need a flipper up here, so we'll have to make another little piece, drill some holes with a hinge, fasten that. It's getting pretty late tonight, so probably gonna call her for the night and try her tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, so work on her as late as we want tomorrow night so we make sure we got her ready for Saturday morning. Snow is supposed to be rolling in tonight. They're talking up to 10 inches maybe, so I'm thinking what's gonna happen is we're gonna maybe get the flipper done, vice grip the chute down, because we got to do some wiring on here and get some sort of seat figured out. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow, and one way or the other she's gonna blow snow. So see you tomorrow. Hey guys, back here Friday after dinner. Got out of work a little early today, so come home and do some work. Working on the chute, so I got it marked out. Basically I'm going to take a triangle out of each corner, cut that out, and then we'll just lay a piece in flat. We'll cut out another triangle to fill that in. That'll bring the corners in, keep the snow from leaking out down on the bottom. Just cut it out of that scrap piece, and then we should be ready to get it mounted up on there. I did pick up a old plastic mud flap, so we'll cut a circle out of that, I think, to go between the bottom of the chute and the blower, and that'll just help the turning. It shouldn't bind up at all, be sitting on that plastic. So we'll get this trimmed out and get the corners welded back in, and then we'll move on to mounting around the snowblower. All right, we got the chute welded up, so we'll set her on there. Went ahead and made a little flipper for the end, cut out the plastic donut, so that'll go on there, and then we'll set the chute on. Get this all lined up. So basically what I'm going to do is we'll drill probably 3 holes right next to the plastic, evenly spaced, and then we'll put a spacer in there the width of these two together with a washer on top that overhangs. Tighten that down so this can't rock, but it'll still be able to slide inside there. And then we'll put our spout turner on, which we might forego that for today so we can blow some snow. But I did get the chute flipper tacked on there. I got to finish welding that, but this will also have an adjuster electric, one of them seat motors on there. So get that mounted on and this finished welding up. And then I think it's on to some wiring. Maybe we'll blow some snow today. I don't know. But we'll get the chute finished up, and then we'll move on to some wiring. Hey guys, we got the spout mounted. She'll spin like that. Also, we got a spout flipper electricized. So I got that little seat motor on there, so we can go up or down. I think it's going to work pretty good. So I think for now I'm going to work on some electrical. Have to get some wires ran, rig up some switches, replace everything so it doesn't fall off when we go try to blow some snow. I think I'll hold off on the spout turner for now. We'll just throw a clamp on it. But try and get some wiring done. Maybe we'll see what happens here and see if she can blow some snow. It's several hours later. We got some progress. Got the spout on, spout turner wire ran, tied up, got everything buttoned up here, I think. Got my wires tied up so they don't get caught. Now bear with me, this is just temporary. So it got a little different on the other end. So we needed a seat. So we just rigged up some 2x6s to sit on for now. Had some switches lay around, got them wired up. So basically we got some old race car panel here. We got ignition, we got start button, and then over here we got the clutch. And then these two toggles are going to be, so this outside one will be the spout. Inside one, of course, is the raise. So that should be everything we need to blow snow, I think. Throw some gas in her. I did switch the linkage around down here, so these I just swapped them on here. So now I believe when we go forward, it'll go forward, and when we turn, it should turn the right way. So it's pretty late, it's dark out, so I won't see anything tonight, but right away in the morning we'll see if she works, and hopefully it does, because we got a whole yard of snow to blow. Probably got 6-7 inches of snow, so be a good test. Probably have to throw the coveralls on, face mask. It's going to get a little wet probably, but should be a good test to see if it's going to work. If it does work, then we of course will basically rip all this stuff back out, get our cab on, and then we'll do the controls kind of how we want them. So this is all temporary for now, but I'm going to call her a night for tonight, and we'll see you in the morning again. Alright guys, Saturday morning. I think we're ready to try her out. Greased everything up, got the chains lubed up. Battery's been on the charger. So we'll give her a shot, see if she holds up. So here we go. Well, it worked. We did run into a couple issues, which we'll go over, but did get the yard pretty much completely blew out. So that's good, but we'll go in the shop and we'll go over the couple issues we had and what we got to do to fix them. So, all right, we're back here in the shop. Got the snowblower in, thawing back out. Did a pretty good job. What do you think of it, Peyton?
It shot really high out of the
spout. Yep. Did have a couple issues. Motor's running a little rich. I wonder if the carburetor's kind of gunked up, so we might have to go through that. And then the other thing was, if you guys remember, I think in the first video, where I said the drive belt had some misalignment. The old belt jumped off 3 times, so we'll have to get that fixed. But otherwise, it worked perfectly. It is a little heavy on the front. We do need to get some chains for the tires because she will spin out. I wasn't able to go up the end of the driveway where it's raised up, so we'll have to get some chains for that. But other than that, we'll fix some few little things and then move on to getting a cab on it and controls. And I think we got a guy in the field with more information on that cab, so we'll send it out to him. Hey guys, Matt with Rinks Garage, on location out here at Grandpa's place. This is where, when I was a youngster, 8-10 years old, shop here's where my dad used to work on stuff. That's where he kind of let us have free reign. We had an old Lincoln stick welder, you know, grab some scrap metal, weld it together. Thinking we built, between me and my brother, we had 15-20 go-karts we built. But anyway, coming to you with the idea that we're going to use for a cab on the old snowblower. There she is. Old tractor cab. I don't know if it's going to work, but it's close to free. My dad likes to barter, so we'll switch something for it, but it's going to be tricky. But I think it'll do the job. It's got the windows and everything. That's the main thing we're looking for. We're going to have to, I don't know, do some cutting probably, but there she is. We'll send you back to the shop. Okay, I guess we're gonna try and mount a tractor cab on it. Think that's gonna work?
I don't know.
I think we can make it work. I don't know if we built 15 to 20 go-karts, but it was probably 5 to 10. We did have a cool go-kart I built. It had a rear end out of a Chevy Malibu car with a 4-speed transmission and a 340 snowmobile engine on it. And it went like 50 miles an hour. So, but that's next is the cab. We'll relocate our controls and all our toggle switches, neaten that all up. Other than that, that's going to do it for this video. So, next one coming to you on this, we'll be putting the cab on, hopefully. So, we'll see you next time, and go ahead and like the videos if you like them, and
Subscribe.
So, we'll see you later.